AL Central.
Yeah, let's hop into that. So we have, and we go over this every week. The last 4 weeks now, this is the 4th week. We're going over every single division in the majors. Started with the NL East, went to the AL East. And then last week we did the NL Central, had the Cubs winning that division by a long shot.
Handily.
And now we will move into the AL Central, sticking with the Central here. And this is another one where I don't think it's as much of space between the 1 and 2 team, but I do think the Indians are still long and away the best team in this division. After that, I do have the Tigers, who went 86 and 75 last year, taking second place. And then after that, it starts to become kind of a crapshoot. The Royals, who are a team I think is trending in the wrong direction.
Yes.
The Twins, who are trending in the right direction, I have going fourth.
Just too low.
Yeah, too much young talent there to be good right now. And then the White Sox, I actually have as the bottom feeders, and that's nothing on them. They made some beautiful trades this offseason, shipping out a bunch of guys, Adam Eaton, and shipping out Chris Sale. They got a ton of prospects back for that. So I don't know. Do you want to go bottom up, or you want to go bottom?
I'd rather go bottom up.
Bottom up.
There's really, I don't want to say there's not much to say about the White Sox, the Royals, or the Twins. It's just when we're talking about the Indians and the Tigers, those are teams that I have a lot more faith in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those are teams you're gonna, the Indians are gonna be another deep threat in the AL. I think it's gonna be them and the Red Sox in the NLCS eventually, or the ALCS. Sorry. I could definitely see that being the two teams. Yeah. So we'll start with the White Sox. They made some additions. Derek Holland, Yoan Moncada came over in a trade from the Red Sox.
He's good.
Which was a big piece. Michael Kopech came over from the Red Sox. That was another big piece in that trade for Chris Sale. And then in the trade to trade Adam Eaton, where the Nationals, had a mass overpay for Adam Eaton, they got Lucas Giolito back and Reynaldo Lopez. Those were two of the Nationals' top pitching prospects. They also signed Giovanni Soto and brought in outfielder Peter Borges, who was with the Phillies last year.
Liked him.
Subtractions, obviously the trade of Chris Sale, the trade of Adam Eaton. Two guys, had to go if you're going to be in a rebuild. They still have a bunch of pieces that they need to get rid of yet. And then they also lost Justin Morneau, relief pitcher Matt Albers, center fielder Austin Jackson, and catcher Alex Avila. My outlook on them is for me personally, I wish they could have gotten rid of more. They have Jose Abreu, Jose Quintana, Melky Cabrera still over there in left field. And then Todd Frazier is also there. And they have closer David Robertson yet. So it's a team.
You're holding on to guys. You're going to be the Phillies if you do this.
Right, exactly. And I don't think that they will. I think the plan is to get rid of them by trade deadline.
Yeah, I guess you have to put. Oh, you're thinking by this.
I'm thinking trade deadline this year that they'll get rid of them. They do have some nice pieces in place, like I said, with the additions. So I'd love to see them just continue the fire sale, mark this year up as a loss, and I think they are doing that.
And obviously you're right, but I just don't want to see the White Sox turn into the Phillies, holding on to guys while their contracts are up,
right,
getting nothing in return. Ryan Howard was a guy that you could have potentially gotten trade value for 3 years ago. When Roy Halladay retired, you could have, and it's always hard to let go. Like it's so much easier said than done. But at the same time, these are guys that did not win you a World Series. It should be easy to let all of those guys go, especially Todd Frazier. I'm surprised he even signed with them.
Yeah, I do think all 4 of them will be gone by the trade deadline. No point in keeping them around. And, you have a beautiful young core there.
Maybe they're thinking that they'll rise in stock as the year goes on.
I'm sure they will.
Maybe Frazier has 23 or 20 home runs at the All-Star break, and you're thinking, okay, this would be the time. This would be the time to go get him. Maybe Jose Abreu has 30.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, this dude is worth the farm.
Quintana is an ace on almost every team, barring a few. So they definitely have some moves yet to make, but I have them as bottom feeders this year.
I just hope they keep Yoan Moncada because he's a good young Cuban prospect I'd like to see.
Build around him. And then next we can hop on to the Twins. They were 59 and 103 last year, so horrible last year, but I do think they are trending in the right direction. They did add Ryan Vogelsong, Jason Castro, and Drew Stubbs. Those are all kind of just placeholders until they get younger guys up. They lost Kurt Suzuki, Tommy Malone, and Trevor Plouffe. Again, nothing too massive on the loss side either.
I like Trevor Plouffe just as a good, solid third baseman since we don't see those in the MLB anymore.
Yeah.
Good ones.
He's like a nice utility piece, nice bench piece.
Yep.
And Kurt Suzuki will be starting catcher for the Braves this year. My opinion on them, and I don't have too much to say on them. They're heading for another dismal year in my opinion, but an exciting one. I mean, if you've been there and I've been there, fan of a team that's rebuilding, it's fun to see these young kids come up.
I loved it. I
am very excited to see this team grow, but I don't think that they're going to be there this year, and probably not for the next couple of years.
The only reason I don't have anything to say is because Phil Hughes is not the guy, that he maybe was two seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a real starting pitcher other than Vogelsong, which, by the way, Kutztown alumni, baby.
They do have their only real big guy is Irvin Santana is on the team still.
Highest paid Twin ever on a mediocre contract as far as baseball is concerned.
Yeah.
That's where the Twins are. They don't spend money.
Right.
Maybe, but whether they don't have it or not is.
They're like the AL Central's version of the Rays from the AL East.
They just will continually be there until they make a big old move or ownership,
or just build up,
or general manager, or that. Going on up, to the Kansas City Royals. They played perfect 500 baseball last year. They went 81-81. They lost a bunch of guys. Edison Volquez, starting pitcher Edison Volquez, DH Kendrys Morales, starting pitcher Chris Medlin, relief pitcher and setup guy and closer Wade Davis, outfielder Jared Dyson, who I really like the wheels on him, relief pitcher Greg Holland, and starting pitcher Yordano Ventura. Rest in peace. He's obviously upstairs.
Yeah.
He passed away. It is in a car accident in the Dominican Republic. And they only made a couple additions. So they got outfielder and first baseman Brandon Moss, who was also a former Lehigh Valley Iron Pig. They got starting pitcher Jason Hamill from the Cubs in free agency. They also got in free agency from the Cubs right-hander Travis Wood. And they got outfielder Jorge Soler in an actual trade from the Cubs. Soler is a guy who I did like.
Yeah.
But clearly they didn't need him.
Never fit in with the Cubs really anywhere.
And so this is a team. I like the additions. I like the fact that you're adding championship caliber guys.
Right. I do like the additions too. I just thought the subtractions were big also.
Volquez and Hamill. Okay, you could say that those are like a tit for tat, right?
Absolutely.
Chris Medlin for Wood, you could say is tit for tat. But with Greg Holland and Wade Davis, you didn't make up for those guys.
Right, and those are too big.
Yordano Ventura, damn.
Yeah.
No one sees this is almost as bad as Jose Fernandez.
Easily opening day starter for that squad. Rest in peace to him. It's really unfortunate how that happened.
Kendrys Morales was a very steady bat
and
through years.
Got good money over there in Toronto too. Kendrys
so good for him.
So, then we move on to the more interesting of teams in this division.
Yes.
We'll hop into the Tigers, and then I think we can both agree here that we still have the Indians on top. Additions for the Tigers, who were 86 and 75 last year: Omar Infante, Alex Avila, catcher, and outfielder Mickey Matuk. He's from the Rays. And then guys that they traded away were outfielder Cameron Maybin, shortstop Eric Ibar, and catcher Jared Saltalamacchia. Not too many crazy moves here for the Tigers, in my opinion. I think they have a shot at sticking with the Indians, but it's a long shot. They do have a really good rotation.
They do.
Obviously, Verlander has been a stud his whole career. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you have Michael Fulmer, who actually came over from the Cespedes trade. He was Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, then you also have Ryan Zimmerman, who was a stud over in Washington for a long time.
Jordan.
Sorry. Wow, geez. I am mixing up the names like
Tyler
crazy
didn't have his coffee today. I didn't make him his coffee because I ran out of coffee grounds. This is all my fault.
I'm mixing up the names. I had Romo and Brady mixed up earlier, and obviously I just said Ryan Zimmerman.
It's okay.
You know what? He was with Washington, so I
got
that. And then obviously you have Miguel Cabrera, who's MVP every year.
Could be an MVP pick every year. Could be Triple Crown every year. I just would like to see more offense from these guys.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Omar Infante. He's a good glove, but I don't know what he bats. I mean, is he a Mendoza batter? Does he bat 300? I haven't really seen a quality season from him since almost the Braves.
Right.
You know, and that's going back a couple years. So, and I don't think Mickey Matuk and Alex Avila are strong enough for me to say, you know, that's the guy.
Right.
You know,
they do have some pieces, but it's nothing like the Indians, who are strong, obviously, with the Encarnacion signing. You have Castellanos over at third, who's not premier third baseman. Jose Iglesias is a good defender, not a hitter, though. But you still, I mean, obviously you have Ian Kinsler, you have JD Martinez, Miguel Cabrera. So they do have some nice pieces, but not a full lineup like you would
I would like one more hot bat. And if I saw that, because we talked about this last week, one guy, maybe not in football, but in baseball, because of the way that the sport's played, you might have a roster of 25 or 40 guys, but only 9 of them truly perform at a time. And so when you turn one hitter, one place in your lineup into 30 home runs and 75 RBIs, you're surely going to get somewhere a lot farther.
Right.
And because of what we have in the WAR, the wins above replacement, you see that a lot more now than you have ever before. And then the last team we have, and we're both agreeing on, they're going to win the division, and that is the Cleveland Indians. Hopefully matching the Cleveland Cavaliers with a championship win this year. But we'll see. Subtractions. They did lose first baseman and DH Mike Napoli. They lost outfielder Rajay Davis, outfielder Coco Crisp, relief pitcher Jeff Manship, and relief pitcher Austin Adams, and also first baseman Jesus Aguilar.
Aguilar, yeah. That's how I pronounce it.
Okay. But they did make a lot of additions. A lot, actually. They got first baseman and maybe designated hitter and home run bomber from the Toronto Blue Jays, Edwin Encarnacion. They got right-handed pitcher Boone Logan, outfielder Austin Jackson, first baseman Chris Colabello, outfielder Willie Mo Pena, who hasn't played in the majors since 2012, did we say?
Yeah, it was 12 or 13, somewhere around there.
Relief pitcher Carlos Frias, a trade from the Dodgers. Last year they finished 94 and 67, and I think that they finish around that this year.
Yeah, I could see even more. I could see more wins with this team.
You could see a 100-win team?
Yeah, I could see, right around 100 probably.
I think, I'm again, not to beat a dead horse, but one guy makes a difference, and Edwin Encarnacion, to me, is the guy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The guy.
I mean, after Cespedes, you can't say that there was a better bat in free agency this year. So, I think personally, after the loss in the World Series to Chicago last year, it was a stunner. One of the best games I've ever seen. Game 7. I definitely agree that they are hungry this year. They still have Andrew Miller there, which obviously is a shutdown closer
or setup man.
Couldn't do it for Team USA the other night though. So what the hell?
Maybe. I don't know. Is he hungry? You know what I mean? It goes by per player.
Right. Absolutely.